I get this question all the time. Why did you move to the Dominican Republic? Why would you leave the United States? And I can tell the confused look on their face. Isn't America a rich country and the Dominican Republic's poor? I'll explain it all to you in this video. Just don't forget to subscribe. But contrary to popular belief, America isn't the best country in the world. Now, is it bad? I don't think so. I mean, it is by far the best country in terms of making money because of the dollar. But you strip that quality away, and what do you have? Really, you just have an average country compared to anywhere else in the world. I mean, that's my opinion. I mean, I know it's hard to accept it. Growing up in the United States, you're always told that it was the greatest country on earth. You think about New York City, Miami, Chicago, LA, Seattle, Dallas. They're beautiful cities in their own right. But traveling abroad, it just changed my perspective forever. Like most people in America, the cost of living has become unbearable. I was working remotely. This was before I even left the country for the first time. I was working remotely in the States. Stress, working check to check, rent's high, baby mama tripping, bills gotta be paid. I just got tired of it. I got tired of the rat race. And I started to research cost of living in other countries. I had learned to speak some Spanish. I had did Spanish in high school, and I went to college, and I took some Spanish in college, but that was never enough to where I could be like, oh yeah, I'm fluent now, But it was enough to be like, yeah, I learned something, you know what I'm saying, and I could say basic things. But just based off of that, I knew that, I was interested in just going into a Spanish-speaking country. So 4 years now, and I'm still permanently living here in Dominican Republic. And I'll give you 5 reasons altogether here why I decided to leave the United States. Number 1 is the growing tension in the country, in the United States. Everything as far as tension politically, financially, people's mental health. It was just like something just squeezing you. There's always something new going on. Especially we had Biden and Trump in that time, fighting to, get the presidency. I mean, we lived through a time then. And it was just like, I got tired of living in a situation where I felt like everything was going to be unexpected. You're not knowing what's coming next. And on top of that, you're working 5 or 6 days a week. I was working 12 hours a day. Even though I was working at home, it still worked though, you know what I mean? And I didn't really have any free time to just get out and roam and do something and not have to worry about the next day. But it's always just waking up and worrying about the next day and what you got to do next. It's just a lifestyle I just couldn't take, and I knew that there was something better out there. Another reason is the high cost of living. Everyone can relate to that. We all know the cost of living has skyrocketed in the United States, especially if you live in places like New York or California, Washington State, or Florida, Chicago, Illinois, around those areas like that, New Jersey, Massachusetts. I mean, it's just out of hand. When you get a 1-bedroom apartment, and in a 1-bedroom apartment, you're paying $1,200 to $1,300. That's just crazy. I remember my mom and dad, they were paying like $500 for, a 1, 2, 3-bedroom upstairs, and then there was a basement that was furnished, and that had another 2 bedrooms. know what I'm saying, and 2 bathrooms in that house. And that's crazy because for something like that now, you're gonna be paying like over $2,000. It's just ridiculous and it's unsustainable. But when I can come to Dominican Republic, as long as I have the same amount of income, man, you can live like a king, for real. I'm gonna be honest with you. I live very humbly, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can see I live, you can call it a barrio, right? It's a barrio, but it's not like deep in the trenches, you know what I'm saying? But it's still regular style living. I'm close to the ocean and everything. I got everything that I need is close to me. If I want McDonald's or Burger King or KFC, Popeyes, Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, Little Caesars, I got all of that on top of everything else that, Dominican has to offer. Everything is close to me. And I live in an area where it's not like rowdy, it's not hot, you know what I'm saying? It's not a lot of delinquencia is what they call it in Spanish, but it's like crime. You don't really see none of that. You know what I'm saying? It's really nice, clean, and comfortable, quiet, relaxing, it's chill. And I pay 5,500 pesos a month for my crib. That's literally less than $100. When my light bill comes in, my light bill is 1,000 pesos. And that's not even $20. That's right under $20. So if you ask me about the cost of living, it's like, I'm good, man. Literally, just for me to make it, you know what I'm saying? Just for me to make it by on the bare absolute minimum, I just gotta come up with like $150 a month. You know what I'm saying? Just the bare minimum. And that's not including food though, because I do eat a lot. If I wanted to include food, I would say maybe like $200 a month, right? And then the rest I can figure it out. But that's, if you compare that, the cost of living and the quality of life, it's just unmatched, man. You have all the opportunity in the world to progress and go forward and advance and save money, which is actually what I'm in the process of doing right now. I'm taking advantage of my time and the low cost of living, not just to have fun, because again, I do, but I live here, so I also got to think about my future and make sure that I have that on lock too, because in 5 years and 10 years, I don't want to be in the same situation where it's like, oh yeah, cost of living is low, I can still paying $150 a month, but I don't got nothing to my name, you know what I'm saying? I'm not here on vacation, I'm here, I'm hustling, trying to make the money to make ends meet, and then the extra money that I do make, I put it aside, and then I just keep on hustling like I don't got nothing. And that's a good quality that I learned living in the United States, because why work less when I can continue with my work ethic and, progress from it here in the Dominican Republic. Now, another one would be the never-ending rat race. I think I said that before. Because it always feels like it's never ending. You're always just going and going and going. You wake up, you go to work. I'm talking about in the United States. You wake up, you go to work, you finish an 8-hour shift, you go home, relax a little bit, maybe you play the game, get you something to eat, surf the internet, and then you're ready to fall asleep. Knowing you got to get up at 7 or 8 in the morning again to go back to work and do it again all week until the weekend comes. And then when the weekend comes, you're so tired, you just want to go to sleep. You don't want to do nothing. Man, I love that view. And this is the Avenida de España, if you didn't know. And make sure to hit that subscribe button too. I love that view though. But that rat race, man, it's tiring. It's tiring, and nobody wants to live like that. And that was the main reason for me getting up and saying, all right, I gotta find out a different path, a different way. And I'm the first person in my family to live outside the country. Like live, not go on a cruise, not go to a resort, but actually live in a different country. And I'm like Kevin Gates right now, man. I gotta get rich or die trying. And I'm doing everything that I can, and then just sharing the journey along the way. I thought about it. I was like, man, I've been here for 4 years and I really don't share much of my journey. So now I'm at a point where it's like I'm so accustomed to everything here in the Dominican Republic because I've been here so long. Like, my Spanish is fluent and everything. Like, and I'm gonna probably do some videos on that later, especially if people are interested in learning Spanish. Another thing is violence. I haven't seen a lick of violence here, and half the dudes, they can't even fight. But I haven't seen no violence. I'm sure there's things that happen, but not like the States, man. You don't have gunshots like that around the city, man. You don't have, gunfights, shootouts. You don't see people robbing cars and things like that. And another thing also is social life. Social life, man, since you have so much time, it's so easy to have a social life and just enjoy. You know what I'm saying? You can make your ends meet, and you have that, and you really got the rest of the month to just chill. And that's why I love Dominican Republic. But stay tuned, man, because I got other videos coming. And I know y'all gonna like it. But that's why I left America.